Hi, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Juliann, and thanks for joining me for another question and answer, heart and soul question and answer session. As far as housekeeping, or before I start, I do want to again say that I try to keep these videos a little shorter, and in order to get my answers, I go through the questions beforehand before I'm recording, because it takes a little while sometimes, and I don't want to use up that time, on the recording. So I will be mostly kind of checking and reading my notes so I don't forget anything. So there's one other thing. I've had people ask me, where do I buy you a coffee and all that kind of thing. First, I want you to know that that's not the reason I'm doing this. But what I did look into, since I'm not a business, I don't have a business, but I'm using the PayPal. So in the drop down in the description, there's the email that you would send it to. And if you could send it as a friend, I think it works better. So thank you so much. And if you feel so inclined. But I enjoy this, and I hope you do too. So here we start. We're going to start with Joe, J-O. I'm Joe from Australia. Many thanks for your channel and all that the groups do for humanity. After running a convenience store solo for the sixth year, I've decided to sell the business. Is this the correct path for me? How long will it take to be sold? Like, 3 or 6 months. I would like to move into doing something more beneficial to the local community. I have several other things in mind, but no experience to any of them. Can you advise which way to go? Many thanks in advance. Okie doke. So Joe, and then first of all, I'm going to introduce a different pendulum today. This was actually the first pendulum that I ended up getting, and this was given to me as a gift from Honey. So it's my special pendulum. Okay. So my answer to you, Joe, is I do get that your business will be easy to sell. It gives me a time frame of 4 to 8 month window on when it might sell. You are obviously feeling a pull to change direction, since you already have some ideas on what you might do. It is great that your intuition is leading you in the direction of helping your community. As a current business person, what comes in strongly is that you have a good read on the needs of your community. So you can focus on the project that is most beneficial at this time. Experience is not needed when intention and manifestation toward helping humanity is the goal. Remember that rather than spend time on strategizing about, how to do things first, go ahead and step in faith toward your goal, and it will flow as it should. Not saying there might not be some hiccups or a few speed bumps, but you actually need to step into it in order to know what the steps are, if that makes sense. So when your intention is pure and loving, your guides and your angels are there to assist you. I get you already know enough to proceed without any experience, and you'll do just fine with whichever project you start on. Use your intuition and let your heart lead. So sounds like it'll be an exciting venture. And, it is probably, I can see where you might get a little bit weary of the same old thing when you're especially doing retail. So I wish you well on that. Okay, we are going to go. The next question is from Sheena. And this was originally sent in February, and then I think maybe resent. So she says, I'm a school librarian within the public school system. I am so over the whole education system and looking to get out, but I have no idea what I would do with myself. What do you see me doing in the future? Okay, so get this to be steady here. Just a second here. So Sheena, basically, we know that all the corrupt systems will be collapsing, hopefully soon. And I believe it will happen rapidly once the first domino falls, whether that's the financial system or what. I do get that due to this collapse of institutions, your job will most likely already be gone as it stands, at least temporarily. And of course, you can choose to be done, before everything falls. But we know our education system will be completely renewed moving forward or redone. There will be a need for people to assist in the process. And I feel that since you already have good knowledge of what I'll just call, quote, the good, the bad, and the ugly, unquote, in the system, you will be poised to assist in the restructuring of it all as well. In the initial stages, and how long it takes, I'm not sure, but much work will need to be done. You are already familiar with how our children have been affected up to this point. So you will be able to see the transformation as learning methods change, methods that truly allow for the creativity process and to be at the forefront where our youth can think for themselves and let their gifts be celebrated. Also, not just in restructuring our schools, but our communities will have access to information that comes forward over the next decade that will need to be reinstalled. Truths uncovered will need to be cataloged all over again. I get that you like working in the library, and overall you are very organized. So this skill will be needed moving forward. We know that we have been lied to all our lives, our history and some things that we will be relearning. And it will take time for the true history, the true evidence to be shown to us. We will need people like you who can be the keepers of this knowledge and keep it straight and organized. So I don't think you'll find a problem or have a problem finding something to do. Your skills will be much appreciated. So yeah, so look forward to that. The next question I'm going to go to is from Tammy. Tammy says, and this is an early April question. So my daughter ended up getting the product with the booster as she felt pressured at work. I ended up sending Reiki to the vaccine. The product that she had. And she told me because she told me after the fact, with her permission, of course. I then sent Reiki to the second dose and that she would be receiving, and I sent Reiki to her while she was getting it with the intention of transmuting anything negative. I also give her weekly Reiki sessions. Gave her, or maybe you are still, give her weekly Reiki sessions. So basically, my question is, has this been helping and will she be okay? Okay, so let's get positioned here. My answer to you, Tammy, is that I feel that your energy work has been beneficial in transmuting the fear vibration and sending the intention of no harm. It doesn't seem like she was given any of the dangerous batches of product, but even so, if fear is in the intention or expectation, it still can cause a bad effect, which is where your intervention of sending Reiki was key. I would say that there were lessons for all of us in this. Okay, so first I would say that one would be, how sovereign were we going to be in making this choice? I mean, the whole populace, when we had that choice. Some refused at the cost of losing their jobs. That was their choice. That being said, for those who really didn't want to take it, but were pressured to do so and needed their jobs, I believe in the universe, it's telling me that the universe, the divine, knows and protects those people in those cases. So depending on what was written in their contracts, of course, I get that, and I get that your daughter will ascend and is not having any drawbacks related to the product. Whoops, my little pendulum has been dropping. So is that what we get? Is there any changes to that? Okay, so yes, so, your energy work was very helpful, mostly, and especially with the emotional and the intention. Intentions are huge, so your daughter should be just fine. Okay, we're going to go next to a different Tammy. She says, I have 4 children who are all awakening, in my opinion. I have my eldest is 37 and autistic. Will I be able to communicate with him freely in the future? This period of time has been very difficult for him as he has been kept from seeing family for the most part. And I also would love to know what my purpose will be on the new earth. And I would imagine he's being kept from the family just kind of with all the medical things and all the rules and stuff going on, depending on where he's at. So yeah, that's been hard on a lot of folks. So, okay, so tuning in to Tammy, and her last name starts with a B. So tuning into all 4 of your children, I get that they are indeed awakening and are all planning on ascending. Is that true? Okay. You have helped them a great deal in this awakening process. I get that your son will have access to a med bed that will heal his body, so he will be able to communicate freely with you and be free of the restrictions he has at this time. There will be also various modalities that help us to maintain health and wellness once the healing is accomplished. So we can, it really will be preventive care. So also remember that we will also learn to communicate differently. I mean, as in telepathy. So in the future, there'll be more of us, doing that kind of thing. So your purpose, I get, will include, but not be limited to, the ability to show compassion and to be patient in helping people transition their life situations. And what comes in the strongest is, it says in quote, giving love to the children, those who have been hurt, unquote. And that's what it kind of gave me. So yes, your people who particularly suffer or have these conditions, I believe will be able to, their bodies be able to heal, and your communication will be no problem. So that's encouraging. We're going to go to Sarah. So Sarah says, I recently received a letter from my state's revenue or treasury stating I had a check coming for me for the 2017 rental property tax refund that was still owed to me. Unless my memory is faulty, I thought that they refunded this to me in 2018. A check for $2,000 arrived a week later, and I am so grateful for this abundance. Is this really a property tax refund or part of the QFS? So in tuning into that, Sarah, what it tells me is I get that, yes, it is connected to the QFS. And what they're doing, the QFS has been running for a bit now. And they have used situations like this to disguise it, finding ways to explain giving back money and so forth. And I think that possibly that's how it might start too, just certain little incentives that they might say are rolling out, and then you get a little bit of extra money. I get that the QFS has been in place and running in the background at least for 5 or 6 months now. Is that what we got? Okay. I think more and more people will experience money coming to them with another explanation like that attached, until the truth of the QFS is made publicly known to all people, until the dominoes really do fall and it's made known. So yeah, that's a cool thing. And I'm glad you got that little bit of extra with that. When you don't expect it, it's especially sweet. So perfect. The next question I'm going to go to is Janelle. This is a May question, not the May. She says, my sister, who is age 75, is in a nursing home, totally bedfast. Will she be able to be healed by the med beds, or is it about time for her to leave this plane? It pains me to have her in such misery. So, okay, Janelle, well, first of all, my heart goes out to you. I've kind of been there, done that, and it's very difficult. I see your sister as being very tired and ready to leave. I do not see her being healed in a med bed or ascending in this body. And also, I see that her body is not in the best situation as far as physical situation. So a walk-in or an addition to her soul is not likely either. I get that her end of life situation is a lesson that she planned in order to understand compassion and experience vulnerability. Like possibly she may have had at least one past life where she either didn't treat people well or didn't have the time or patience for the needy and the sick, people who had infirmities. So, and certainly when you're in a situation like this, you are reliant on other people and care. So it's very humbling. Okay. Realize that we have all done our fair share of the bad and not so kind behaviors in our past lifetimes. But Janelle, I know that's very difficult to watch a loved one in this situation. If I can give you a bit of encouragement, what I would say is I'm told when I tune in that you both had lifetimes together before, and there will be more in the future. So again, we must remember that our souls are infinite. Okay, so it's all in the end fine, no matter what. So just keep, while she is here with you, give her love and encouragement and enjoy that. So I hope that helps you. I'm going to go next to Catherine, and she lives in Canada. She says, almost 9 years ago, I first heard about Mandela effect that caused the Bible verse change. Let's see, about the Mandela effect that caused the Bible verse change. I tried to find the only Bible at home to check those verses, but could not find it. My family helped me search the whole house, but no luck. Several months later, we found the Bible on the bookshelf in the living room. The Bible is a hardcover and thick, and in the middle of the middle shelf, the most noticeable place. They surely would have spotted that Bible if it was there before when they were looking. So can you explain why the Bible disappeared and then reappeared? Okay. So again, how many of us haven't had something like that happen? And maybe we're starting to have more of it happen. But my answer to that is this is an example of a timeline shift, which is happening much more often at this point of time. I think we've all experienced it, looking for something, even sure that we know where it should be or where you last put it. And later we go back and, voila, it's there. So why does this timeline shift occur? I get it is the universe that is telling or sending us messages. Our higher self is involved as well, remembering that our higher self allows only what is in our highest and best good. So it means that at that moment, possibly, we're not meant to know or to find that object for whatever reason. It could be for protection. It could be, again, possibly for our highest good. And usually we get really anxious, really ticked off the longer we search for it. It just, that should give us some pause or have us reflect a little bit like, okay, it's time to just take a deep breath and, regroup. I also get that it is out of our control, that we don't have the ability to control this time shifting situation. Now, I will say that if you Google Mandela effect, Google will tell us that the Mandela effect is merely us misremembering events or where we place something. And I get that's hooey. Okay. I get that's absolutely a lie. Oh, that's a surprise. So, example, the Monopoly guy with the monocle and then without. And I even went down stairs to look at our Monopoly game. I don't know if it was from I don't know when it was from, but I didn't see a monocle on him, but I swear, I know it was. He used to have one. And if it's in that timeline, it means that everything gets changed. Okay. But I will say that a few months ago, you know how there's a lot of great information on the internet. There really is some good YouTube or TikToks, and it was a TikTok, I think, and it was they were showing this timeline change. They had the Berenstein Bears, is that how you say it? I always knew it to be Berenstein. And they showed the book, and they were, in the house, and they showed what it said, the Berenstein Bears, and they just walked a few steps and through a doorway into the bedroom, and then they showed the same book. There was no cuts, they showed it, and it said Berenstain Bears. So right in front of you, you saw the timeline change. So that was kind of interesting. But no, they've been playing tricks on us the whole time. So that is what I get. So it's basically a timeline shift example. And like I say, more of us were probably gonna have these like little deja vus or these little things happening. I'm going to go to Ria next. She says, I feel very lonely all my life. A feeling of not belonging here. I sometimes don't understand how people think and how they live. It makes me feel so sad. And she says, I know I'm here by choice, and it's wrong to leave, but I have so much would feel like I want to leave. Can you tell me what I'm supposed to do, like my life mission or a project I will be working on? Where are my people, my soul tribe? I have asked my higher self, and I keep asking, but haven't gotten a clear answer yet. I love the, let's see. Yeah, I haven't gotten the right answer yet. So although she's hoping that her gifts are coming. So Ria, RIA, I'm going to tell you what I got. So Ria, my answer for you is, I feel that you are missing your home, which I get is the angelic realm. You are an extremely old soul. I get over 1 billion lifetimes. That's an old soul. And that is what it gives me. So being an angelic from the 6th density, you have found it very difficult to be here in this 3D life. Okay. The polarization, the ugliness, it hurts your heart so deeply. So as an empath, to protect yourself, you found that disconnecting as much as you can was a way for preserving your energies. Okay. I am understanding that your main objective in being here at this time was to be part of this ascension and creation of our beautiful golden age. You knew it would be a challenge, but you agreed anyway. Your soul knows that quitting now would not fulfill your mission. So you stay the course, knowing it is quite the tough lesson. Okay. So regarding your gifts, what I get is through the lens of the hardships that you've experienced and witnessed in this life, which is what you planned, you are able to transmute the fear of humanity and insert love and compassion. You also have many beautiful healing abilities that you will be using as we complete the body transformations to crystalline. As an old soul, you have many gifts, things you will be remembering for the future. So there are things you've already done in many of your lifetimes, but you'll just be remembering, like all of us. Things you that they are as needed. So basically, as they are needed, as things arise, so shall you be called to assist with those gifts. So be encouraged, have hope that there's this was the plan all along, and you are here to make it better for everyone going through this. So hope that helps you and gives you encouragement. Okay, we're going to go to Edith. She's from the Netherlands. She says, I'd like to know what my spiritual gift is. I don't hear voices. I don't see ghosts. I don't smell things, but I seem to know things in my contacts with children and feel sadness and other emotions. When I speak about what I know, which can help a younger person or a child, then sometimes I feel sensations of trembling in my voice and body temperature change, and I feel like a high vibration. And then I think someone is talking through me. Also, my dreams tell me things. Often I can translate a practical situation, a dream, into symbolic or language expression. So an example would be the quote, it rains cats and dogs. She says, I would see them fall and translate it into a lot of rain in a short time. And of course, in Dutch, she loves being a visual thinker. So she says, I am now a pensionado, which I like that term. So she lives on a pension, but she still works with some kids that are unhappy at school because she says they learn top down, just like I did. School teaches bottom up. So I kind of get what you mean, but I haven't really looked into it. So, I mean, it's just the form of learning. And yeah, they're always trying to reinvent the wheel. So if it's not broken, they should never try to fix it in the first place. She says, do I still have a task in working with children after 67 years in my soul contract? Okay. So, and what is my spiritual gift and purpose in my life after pensionado? And when will I be alone the rest of my life? Will I find a fitting partner? So just a few things to cover here. So basically, Edith, as I answer initially, your deep sensations or emotions that come from speaking what you know when you're talking to the kids and stuff is because you've had some past lives as a child experiencing the horrors we've come to learn about that has been going on for centuries. Okay. Unfortunately, that's what we got, isn't it? Okay. You are deeply committed to making a difference for the children in this lifetime. Okay. Your goal this time around is to reach, teach, and love people, especially the children, and give them hope and purpose, helping them to know they matter and they are uniquely special. I do get that you are beautifully gifted with the teaching ability in a relatable way and from the heart. This is the easiest and best way to do what you came here to do, the teaching. Know that moving forward, this gift will be used as well. The way we learn in general, especially the youngsters, it will be quite different. Hence your comment on how they teach now, like the bottom up and the top down thing. That will be gone the way they do things now. It will be a much easier way. In asking what is your purpose moving forward at 67 years old and beyond, all throughout this ascension process, which will take years, at least a decade or more to complete, you will definitely be working, probably still teaching and focusing with children as our world is completely, as we evolve. And when our world is completely wiped clean of polarization and we're living in a heart-centered and community-based world, you'll move on to enjoy other experiences because, as we ascend, we're going to live a lot longer. You'll have a lot more years to do these things. So you'll move on to enjoy other experiences that give you joy and fulfillment. So in essence, you will continue to be yourself, helping others move along into love and joy. You will just find new tools in your toolbox to make it more fun. Creativity will be celebrated. Okay. Regarding the relationship question, I get that that sometime within this next 4 years, okay, it just says kind of within the next 4 years, you will find a man with whom you have a loving relationship, and I believe a long-term relationship. It kind of spells, the name starts with an M, and it gave me 2 words. It gave me Mark, and then I asked another possibility, and it gave me Manny. Mark or Manny, so kind of. It says how you possibly will meet will not so much be centered around your work with children or when you're doing those kind of things. It'll be more around your fun time, like if you're socializing or just you're having more fun and it's not a work related kind of thing. So isn't that exciting? So that's a great answer, Edith, for you, and I'm excited. Thank you for your question. I'm now going to go to Linda. She asks, am I a walk-in? Am I a young or an old soul? Okay, so let me see if I can get this. I'm going to reset my timer here for just a quick second. She says, in 2004, I had a very dramatic and life-changing awakening in church when I heard for the very first time in my life that God loves me. So, okie doke. So here we go, Linda. My answer to your questions is I get that no, it doesn't come across to me that you are a walk-in. And I get that you are a very old soul. I get around 6 million past lives. Is that true? Okay. The awakening that you experienced in 2004, I get, was the very first time your higher self was made known to you in this 3D life. It was your first time having that emotion or that body response, making you aware of your connection to your source or oneness, okay, which is within you, okay. Like I say, in church, we are praying to God or whatever, and it's really, I think, there is a creator, but I would not necessarily, I've come to believe that, God, that it's source, is who we're talking to. And source or oneness, I'm starting to call it oneness now instead, is really, we're a spark of that. So it's within you. That spark is in you, and that's your higher self. So you were actually having like the great revelation, if you will, or somehow it was triggered into where it was a very significant awakening for you when you were in church, okay, with your higher self. And I don't know where you are with connecting with higher self now, but I encourage you to keep talking to higher self, to yourself. So that's awesome. We're going to go to my last question will be with David. And David says, in my 20s, when I was in my 20s, I crashed my motorbike. I was on a country road, not going fast. I saw a dog on the side of the road, and then everything went blank. The next thing, I was helped off the road by someone, and they walked me and my bike to the side of the road. When I got my helmet off, the man and the dog was gone. Do you know what happened here? I didn't skid or hit the dog. I just went blank. So basically, I get that this incident, it did happen, and it was divinely orchestrated, is what I get, by your guardian angels. So of which I get that you have 3 of these guardian angels, and all 3 of them were involved. They all were part of this. They actually bent time to do this. I get that this whole thing lasted about 15 minutes. And it was in order to prevent you from some type of tragedy ahead, some kind of a threat or danger that was awaiting you if you would have continued, that could have possibly been fatal, and it was not your time to go. So I hope that kind of resonates with you. I mean, I think that the old saying, like a cat has 9 lives, but basically we all have guardian angels, and I believe they stay with us the whole time for the most part. And they are there to help you, and they certainly will protect you if you have a life-threatening situation, and that sounds like it was. So all 3 of them were making sure that you were okay. And however, if there's other things, I mean, they're watching us and they're with us, but they lay back a little bit. And what they want is for us to ask for guidance, ask for their help. So don't forget to include them in asking for your desires as you move forward, because they're here to help you. So anyway, guys, thank you for all your questions. I do, again, appreciate and want to say thank you for all your love and support as I'm going through this. It's been fun. Right now, it does take me a bit of energy to do some of this. I start to tune in and then I get a little bit yawny and tired, but we'll see. I think that it's like a muscle. You have to exercise it and keep going. So anyway, keep the questions coming, and we're going to continue to do the best we can, honey and I, to get to your questions. And that's the best we can do. So we love you all and appreciate you. So we got the best subscribers ever. So anyway, have a wonderful rest of the week and into the weekend. And until next time, bye-bye.